tons of executives within the industry have no idea what's really going on, why so many gamers are so upset with the decisions that they're making and projects they're greenlighting. And now Sean Layden, a former PlayStation boss, is melting down over the fact that people are criticizing the lead actress of the new Ghost of Tsushima sequel, Ghosts of Yotei. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I loved Ghost of Tsushima. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and the first teaser that we got for Yotei doesn't look half bad. The problem lies within the fact that they have picked a radical activist as the lead actress. Will that shine through in the final product? We have no idea at this point. We haven't seen enough to judge, but people are simply pointing out her history, and he's now melting down saying, if you don't like it, don't buy it. This is a That Park Place article. It says the former Sony chairman Sean Layden told gamers if they are uninterested or don't like the Tsushima sequel, they should not buy it. He shared his comments while reacting to YouTuber Endymion's initial reaction to the game's trailer. He wrote, Ghost of Tsushima's sequel stars a Japanese woman samurai warrior because of course it does. They can't help themselves until every franchise that was built on masculinity is replaced with women. Now, I like his YouTube content, don't get me wrong. I personally am going to not fully disagree because we have seen so many companies take established franchises and established male characters and replace them. But on the flip side, I personally believe that Jin's story was over. Yeah, of course, they could have milked him for all he was worth. And while I would have loved him to return, I don't mind having a game set hundreds of years later with a new character because she clearly has his mask. She's clearly going to be referencing him. Like, he is going to be central to her story from what I would assume that we've seen in that initial trailer. And my stance on the trailer itself is that it looks really great. Ghost, the first game, was visually stunning, and this is no different, but it was a very short teaser that just made you feel nostalgic because it's similar to the first game. We don't know if there will be narratives pushed in this content. We don't know if it will be garbage, but I don't have a problem with having a lead female protagonist. I know a lot of other people do not either, though it is definitely good to be skeptical. I always say this, even when I'm super excited for a product. I do not care what it is or who it's from. Always be cautiously optimistic. There are definitely some red flags here as well because of people like the lead character's voice actress, Erika Ishii, which we're going to get into in a second. I always say that people are, of course, allowed to have their own opinions, but it doesn't seem that she's really able to hold back those opinions. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen because this has been a big controversy on social media, but here is just a small snippet of her social history. Her gender is all pronouns, so I guess she's a little confused. She had previously posted back in 2019, for Halloween, I'm going to wear a sexy white bird costume, but only honk and be extremely shitty to people all night. So, right there. I mean, making fun of white people. If Steven Yeun wins an Academy Award, there will officially be more acting Oscars won by real Asians than by white people in yellowface. So, you can see clear history of racism against white people. She also has, talked about defunding the police, supporting Black Lives Matter. I mean, somebody who is very vocal when it comes to social issues and promoting diversity and inclusion. So this is somebody who, yes, is definitely described accurately as a radical activist. Now, I always say this, people are allowed to have their own opinions, even if I totally and disagree with the things they spew or their beliefs, they are allowed to have them. But they should leave their radical activist bullshit at the door when going to work. And she probably can't do that, judging by what she spews on her socials. Plus, she does sign up for projects where they gender swap characters, like in the recent Mortal Kombat DLC. She does, in fact, play the gender swapped sector. That is a red flag. She is in Dragon Age the Veilguard, which we know does, push DEI initiatives. Maybe all of these things will end up not really mattering, because at the end of the day, maybe she can do her job properly, but she is extremely vocal, and it would not surprise me if she, in some way, shape, or form, affects the content in Ghosts of Yotei. And of course, I'm sure that there are tons of writers on this project who believe in the message too, but if they're good writers, they should still be able to deliver a good experience. I highly doubt she'll be the only person on this team who's got a history of posts that'll cause backlash, and to add fuel to the fire, she has been blocking people simply because she doesn't like their politics. But this all goes back to Sean over here, Sean Layden, who decided to take to social media to say, if you don't like this actress or you don't like the look of the game, don't buy it. He said, one, it's a game, an entertainment, a story a team of creators believes in. They want to make this. Two, it's a game. If you don't like it, don't buy it. In fact, why not make the game you want yourself? And while he is no longer at PlayStation, and he hasn't been for 2 years, he is PlayStation. Let's keep it a buck. Even though he's not there anymore, he knows their mindset and pushed it for over 30 freaking years. What he says is exactly what the higher ups at PlayStation are feeling, and it's clearly anger towards gamers for not shutting up and consuming product. Sony is known for their interference in final products, and we know their first priority is diversifying and not entertainment. And I'm still trying to say, hey, listen, maybe this will turn out good. We only saw one tiny trailer, but this is not a good attitude, and it only makes the project look 10 times worse. People are already extremely skeptical, and you guys have proven time and time again you are willing to speak with your wallets, and that is a fan-fucking-tastic mindset. It is great to see so many people be able to withhold the money that these companies expect you to shell out because you do not want to blindly support a product. That's why we don't pre-order games anymore. And that's also why I try to live stream all the major titles on the channel, so you can see what the product is before you go and buy it, in case you don't want to monetarily support it. It's better for 1 copy to be sold than 100 copies to be sold or 1,000 copies to be sold. We can affect the way that these companies think, because at the end of the day, they need everybody to purchase it. And if only a couple of content creators are buying something and thousands of people are watching that instead of buying it, that is going to severely hurt them. And that's what someone like Sean doesn't understand. When you tell people not to buy something, they go, okay, I won't. It's like he thinks that it's some reverse psychology, like, if you don't like it, don't buy it, and you're gonna go, oh, wait, I apologize, I do actually want to buy it. That's not gonna happen. We are not sheep for the freaking slaughter, but he thinks we are. And that is just not the way that it works anymore. Now, yes, I do agree that a story a team of creators believes in should be the one that they're telling, but we know Sony interferes a lot when it comes to final products, and they do have diversity quotas when it comes to content. I mean, right on their website, they talk about how we want our workforce to reflect diversity of thought and experiences of our player base, and we have out clear and ambitious aspirations, built internal and external talent pipelines, and then they talk about how they want to increase diverse representation not only at in the company, but also in their products. We are also committed to highlighting diversity diversity in products. We feature curated collections on the PlayStation Store around themes such as amazing heroines, LGBTQIA plus characters, and accessibility friendly titles. So it is clear that this company, yes, does put the message first. It is clear that you cannot blindly trust anything that Sony puts out or any company puts out. There's only one developer that I personally would blindly trust if they launched a game tomorrow, and that's From Software. And even they've made a couple of, in my opinion, mistakes over the years, like going with the body type A and B in games like Elden Ring. Does that ruin the experience for me personally? No, Elden Ring is my favorite game of all time, but you can clearly see that even they have tripped a little bit, though I do blindly support them. And I'm just being honest about it. But they're like the only developer I would buy a game if they released it tomorrow. Other than that, I would instantly be researching and trying to look at what the developers are saying, what the executives are saying, what the actors are saying. And it just seems that, since development started and ended for Tsushima, which was 2014 to 2020 when it released, the gaming industry has changed a hell of a lot. And while that game was fantastic, it's one of my favorite games of all time, period. I still am not going to just sit here and chill for Yotei. I want it to be good. I think the initial teaser looks pretty good, but there's a lot of red flags right now. So I will be interested to see what else they show us going forward. But Sean Layden saying if you don't like it, don't buy it, as if that is going to help them at all. And like you guys are going to go, I'm sorry for criticizing. I will buy it, but gamers are not stupid and they will not buy a product if you tell them not to buy a product. And while he isn't at Sony anymore, he definitely kind of encapsulates the mentality at the company, because he just a few years ago was the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment of America. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.